to DevTech Finance. In today's video, we will be learning about basics of working capital management. This video is a part of working capital management tutorial. So I recommend you to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can get updates on the related videos of this topic. Now, let me give you a brief about the whole tutorial. So in this working capital management tutorial, we will be covering various aspects of operating cycle numericals, estimation of working capital, inventory management, cash management, receivables management, and then we will be looking at the components of working capital, the types, etc. So all these topics will be covered in my upcoming videos. For today's video, we will be basically covering the concept and meaning of working capital, components of working capital, the operating cycle, factors affecting working capital, and the sources of working capital. Let's start with the concept. Working capital is the fund required for day-to-day operational activities of the business. It shows liquidity position of the business in terms of cash and cash convertibles in short terms. Working capital is actually representing the liquidity of business. Liquidity in terms of cash and cash equivalents. Now see, why is cash or cash equivalents important? We can call another term like current assets. Why are current assets important in business? So these funds are required for day-to-day operational activities of the business. Now there is production going on in the business. There is requirement of purchasing raw material, payment of wages, and various other expenses. So to cover all those expenses, there is requirement of working capital and liquidity in the business. Some of the uses of working capital are purchase of raw material, payment of wages or salary, overhead expenses like rent, electricity, etc., money locked up in stock of raw material, work in progress, and finished goods. So these are some of the uses. Why you would need fund in your business, what are the operational activities for which working capital is required. So these activities are when you have to purchase raw materials for your business, when your business is going in production, you are paying various overhead expenses like the rent, the electricity, you are paying wages to the workers on daily basis. Then there is money which is locked up in stock of various raw material, work in progress, finished goods, various stocks are there. So for maintenance of that, all those expenses are related to the daily operational activities, and that has to be maintained through the working capital. Now let's understand what exactly gross working capital is. It is the capital invested in total current assets of the business concern. Now whenever we talk about the gross working capital, we are just observing the how much money the business has invested in the current assets. Now current assets are those assets which are convertible into cash within 1 year. So these are also referred as short-term assets. These could be your debtors, your inventory, your bills receivable. All those are current assets which are referred as cash equivalents as well. So these assets are short-term assets and can be converted easily within 1 year, and thus all the investments that the business has made in current assets, it's seen as gross working capital which can be used for the operational activities of the business at any point of time. Now the second and most relevant concept as compared to gross working capital is net working capital. It is the excess of current assets over the current liabilities of the business concerned during a particular period. So in a business, we are not just having short-term assets, we are also having short-term liabilities. Liabilities are what business has to pay somebody back. So it also has current liabilities or short-term liabilities which need to be paid back within 1 year. Now we can't be dependent on all the current assets if we have not paid back the current liabilities. We can't be using those cash. So excess of current assets over the current liability, we can in simpler terms we will represent it as difference between the current asset and current liabilities. So whatever we will be having as current assets after paying all the liabilities, all the short-term liabilities will be referred as net working capital, and this net working capital will be more relevant and more dependent when it comes to running the business operational activities. If the current asset is more than current liabilities, it is said to be positive working capital, and in reverse it is said to be negative working capital. So sometimes it also happens that businesses are having more current liabilities and less current assets. In that terms, it becomes negative working capital. Now let's talk about the components of working capital. So we already saw that working capital is basically comprising of current assets and current liabilities. These two together make up the working capital. So after we have paid all the current liabilities out of the current assets, we would be coming to the net working capital, and it may be positive or it may be negative. Now current asset comprises of cash in hand or bank, any bill receivables. So for example, if you have sold goods on credit to the customers, so you will be and you have raised bills against those customers, so those are your bill receivables, which you would be receiving the amount after certain period of time from those customers. Then there are again sundry debtors, short-term debtors to whom you have sold goods on the credit and you will be receiving money in the future period of time, whatever debtor period you have allowed. Then there are inventories, stock of raw materials, stock of work in progress, stock of finished goods, whatever stocks you are maintaining. So those are referred as inventories, and again those comes under current assets. Any prepaid expense. So if you have paid the expenses in advance only, so those will be prepaid expenses and will be referred as current assets. Now current liabilities will be bills payable. So in the same terms, like if you have purchased goods on credit and you have to pay back the bills, same like sundry creditors. If you have purchased goods or raw materials on credit, you need to pay back to your creditor. And then there is any outstanding expenses, any bank overdraft or short-term loan which you have taken in the business. So these are the current liabilities which the business need to pay back, and these are the current assets which the business own. So the difference between the both will be giving the rise to net working capital, which can be used in the daily operational activities of the business. Now let's move on to understand the most important concept in working capital management, and this is called as operating cycle. So operating cycle is the duration involved in the conversion of raw material back into cash. Okay, so in any business, when we are going to start a business, we need some cash. So maybe we are having our own capital in the business, or maybe we will be borrowing it as loan from the creditors, the banks, the financial institutions. So these will be referred as creditors or cash. After having the capital, we will be investing it to purchase the raw material. Now this raw material which we have purchased will be put in the production process. So it will be going in the work in progress. Now here also there would be maintenance of certain stock of raw material. Here will be maintenance of certain stock of work in progress, and then it will be converted into finished goods. So here will be the stock of finished goods which will be sold in the market. And after selling in the market, there may be that we have sold the goods not all on the cash basis. Some goods we have sold on credit basis. So we will be giving rise to debtors for the business. So these debtors will be paying back the cash to us in future period of time. So these debtors, when they will be paying the cash, it will again be used to purchase the raw material, and this is how the whole cycle will continue. Now at every stage there is some holding period required. So when the stock is in raw material stage, there is holding period of those stocks. Not all stocks will be put in the production process at a single point of time. Similar way, at each stage there will be holding period. Now the combination of the whole holding period will be the operating cycle period. So how much time it is taking for me to convert the raw material again back into the cash to purchase the raw material. So this is the whole cycle, which is also referred as operating cycle and working capital cycle. Now see, the longer will be this operating cycle, more will be the requirement of working capital. Because my business is taking time in realizing money back from the debtors, I need more capital because my production process has not been stopped, it is going on. So I will require money. Whether my debtors will be paying in future period of time, I can't be dependent on that. So I will be requiring money in the due course of the business. So that will be working capital management requirement due to the longer operating cycle. And in similar ways, if the operating cycle will be shorter, the working capital requirement will be lesser as compared to the longer operating cycle, because we are able to realize the cash in shorter period of time. Now let's understand it. Working capital requirements depend upon the operating cycle of business. The operating cycle begins with acquisition of raw material and ends with collection of receivables. Now see, only if your business has sold materials on credit, we are talking about receivables and debtors. If your business is dealing only in cash basis, so you don't need to depend on the debtors the period to realize those cash. If you have sold on cash basis, that would be your operating cycle period. You have just sold the finished good, you have received the cash, and then you again purchase raw material with the help of that cash. So that would be your whole operating cycle. But in today's scenario, in all the businesses, there are sellings made on credit, and thus the debtors and the creditors are involved in operating cycle. Now, operating cycle consists of following important stages. So we already saw the first stage was raw material and storage stage, where we were having the raw material holding period. Then the second stage was work in progress stage, where these raw materials were put in production process. Now again, thereafter the stage was of finished goods stage, and then we sold this finished goods in the market on credit, so which gave rise to debtors, and then we were waiting to collect money from the debtors, so this was debtors collection stage. And after that, we may have borrowed the money from creditors on, or we have taken it as loan, so we need to pay back to the creditors, so there would be credit payment period stage. And after completing all these stage, we will be left with cash or cash equivalents when in the business, which again will be used to purchase the raw material, that is the stage 1. So this is how the whole operating cycle worked throughout the stages. Now, time gap between procurement of raw material and amount received from debtors lead to requirement of working capital in the business. So this was the main concept, that the time gap which is involved in this whole stages, the time gap which is involved. So I have taken this raw material, I have done all the production, I have sold my materials, but to get back the money, it is taking time. So in between, I have not stopped my production process. Production is going on. So we need the capital in the business to run the daily operational activities, and thus the working capital is required. Now let's talk about factors affecting working capital. So first is nature of business. If the business gets proceeds from sales quickly, the amount of working capital required would be less as compared to those business where cash accruals take time. So for example, there are businesses of restaurants and supermarkets. So there mostly the sale is done on cash basis. So their working capital requirement is really less as compared to the businesses which are involved in infrastructure, so building railways and going through various projects. Their cash accruals will take more time. So it also depends on the nature of the business, that what would be the requirement of working capital. Second is growth of business. So if the business is growing, it is expanding, the requirement of working capital would be more, because there would be more operational activities going on. More workers will be involved, so there will be requirement to pay the wages. There will be more branches and units, so there will be more overhead expenses like rent and electricity. So the growth of business signifies that more working capital would be required in the business to run the operational activities. And maintaining an adequate working capital becomes important so that your production process is not stopped, you don't miss out on customers' demand, and your process of production goes efficiently. So to serve all those needs, working capital should be maintained adequately in the business. Then the conversion rate. We already talked about operating cycle. So longer will be the operating cycle, greater would be the requirement of working capital because it would be taking more time to realize the cash back from the debtors. If it will be a shorter operating cycle, the requirement of working capital will be less. The production process. If the company produces good on order basis, then its requirement of working capital would be much less as compared to those companies which produces good on the basis of sales forecast. So some companies produces good on order basis, so they actually know how much would be their requirement of working capital and they don't depend on the forecastings. However, most of the companies they depend on the sales forecast depending on the nature of the business, so their working capital requirement would be more because they need to keep a little higher over the demand so that they don't miss out on the future uncertainty of the customer's demand regarding the product of the business. Then the credit policy. Credit policy of sales and purchase also affect the working capital requirement of the business concern. If the company maintains liberal credit policy to collect the payment from its customer, they have to maintain more working capital. So if I have sold my goods on credit to my debtors, so what happened that I have given them more period, like longer period to pay back my money. For example, I have given them 60 days or 90 days period to pay back the money. So those 60 days or 90 days, I would have to arrange for working capital to keep my operational activities, to keep my production process going on. So credit policy also determines what would be the requirement of working capital in the business. Now, sources of working capital. The sources of working capital can be classified into internal and external. So sources are where you will be raising the fund from, where you will be getting the working capital from. So it could be internal sources. The businesses also use their own retained earnings. They use their reserve and surplus, depreciation fund, etc. to cover their working capital requirements. Or they may depend upon the external sources such as debentures and public deposit, taking loans from the bank, which are also referred as working capital loan or short-term loans and advances. Or they may go for financial arrangements like factoring. So all these are sources from where the working capital could be raised in the business. Thank you for watching. This was all for this video. Do like and share my video. Subscribe to my channel, DevTech Finance. Thank you all.